What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Where Is. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. So, today I have two cases for you guys where both women were suspected to have been kidnapped when they were both in elementary school. Now, there is very little information on both cases, unfortunately, but I still wanted to share them with you guys because every case matters. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss our first case. Now, the first case is an older case, and that is the case of Adele Wells. Adele Marie Wells was born on January 1st in 1951, and she mysteriously disappeared from Flint, Michigan when she was 7 years old. She had 8 other siblings, and her dad worked as a factory worker in Flint. So it was 1958, and Adele was in the 2nd grade, and she was a student at the Jefferson Elementary School. Now, it was November 21st, and Adele was supposed to have school that day. However, she ended up staying home because she had a cold. Now, Adele didn't stay home long before deciding that she wanted to go to school that afternoon to finish out the day. So she leaves her home to head to school, but before arriving to her elementary school, Adele stops by her grandmother's house, which was only a few blocks away from her school. So after visiting her grandmother's, Adele was seen leaving her grandmother's house. However, she never arrived to school and she hasn't been seen or heard from since. Now, there unfortunately isn't a lot of information regarding the investigation of her case. However, according to police, they did have reliable witnesses that said that they saw a young man that was carrying a girl that was between the ages of 8 and 10 years old to a black Chevrolet that was dirty near a creek located on Lewis Street, which was only about a 6-minute drive from her elementary school. Now, the suspect was described by witnesses as a black man with a light complexion and was wearing a gray coat and red socks. However, this suspect has never been identified, and still to this day, no one even knows if in fact this man described by witnesses is in fact Adele's abductor. Now, what I find to be very disturbing is that other children that attended the elementary school stated to police that there was a man that was driving a black Chevrolet that fit the same description as the Chevrolet seen the day Adele went missing, and the children told police that they were trying to lure them into the vehicle just days before Adele had disappeared. Now, this definitely makes me believe that the man that witnesses saw had to have been responsible for Adele's disappearance. However, Adele is still missing to this day and her case remains unsolved. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was only 7 years old. She is African American. At the time, she stood at 3'6" and weighed 45 to 60 pounds. She had black hair with bangs and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a gray coat, a blue dress that had small animals along the lower hemline, red knee-length socks, and black shoes. If alive, Adele would be 71 years old. If you have any information, you can contact the Flint Police Department at 810-237-6945. So for our second case, we will be discussing the disappearance of Kelly Staples. Kelly Juanita Staples was born on July 28th in 1973, and she was only 6 years old when she was kidnapped from Chicago, Illinois in 1980. Now, there really is no background information on Kelly, unfortunately, so we will just get right into her disappearance. So it was the early morning hours on January 8th in 1980, and Kelly had school that day, so she leaves her home in the South Shore neighborhood in Chicago and she begins her walk to her elementary school, which was located in the area of 73rd and Merrill. Now, her walk to school was a fairly short walk. It was only around 3 blocks. However, Kelly never arrived to school that morning and she has never been seen since. Now, unfortunately, there really isn't any information regarding the investigation of her case. However, there was a man who was being accused of murder that had actually confessed years later in 1992 that he was responsible for the murder of Kelly. Now, not only did he confess to the murder of Kelly, he also confessed to the murder of several other girls and women that had also been missing. Now, his confession did turn out to be false, and he was ruled out as a suspect in Kelly's case. Now, authorities do suspect that Kelly was abducted by a non family member while she was walking to school that morning. However, her case still remains unsolved. So, what could have happened to Kelly? Now, I definitely believe that someone took her on her way to school. There had to have been witnesses, considering she was on her way to school. I'm sure there were other kids walking to school that morning as well, but again, with what little information we have, I'm not sure if anyone has come forward with any information, and again, her case remains unsolved. Again, Kelly was only 6 years old when she went missing. She is African American with black hair and brown eyes. She stood at 3 foot and weighed 49 pounds. She was last seen wearing a brown and white striped cap, a brown scarf, a red plaid coat, blue jeans, and blue rubber boots. If alive, she would be 48 years old. If you have any information, you can contact the Chicago Police Department at 312-744-838. Now, I truly hope that both women are alive and well out there somewhere, and I hope that we can reignite both of these cases and bring justice to their families. Well, that is it for me today, you guys. Please stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.